Today on the Topping Show, Matt Walsh responds to Donald Trump declaring a military use of force against the cartels. Arizona Democrat Senator doxes ICE agents using Instagram. American Eagle leads into the Sydney Sweeney ad as she continues to go viral. Stealing groceries prank has a backlash on social media. Sydney Sweeney tactical shooting also trends, has everyone excited. Every Dodge Durango will not get a V8 as they kill the V6 option. And Kia recalls vehicles due to window trim, falling off. All of that and much more on the Topping Show. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Today's episode of Topping Show is proudly sponsored by Topping Technologies. Topping Technologies is an IT value-added reseller and services company with a special proficiency IT security. Heck, I see your founder at least twice a day. Gotta say he's quite handsome and brilliant. He's me, see, that's a joke. If you're an IT leader or a business owner, reach out to the team at sales@toppingtechnologies.com. Also, still giving away a free Flamethrower with every IT purchase with Picatinny rail adapters that can mount it to any standard AR-15 like all accessories can be. Go to toppingtechnologies.com and click the Flamethrower button to learn more and see me shooting a flamethrower. And lastly, trying to get to 6,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so you can click that button and tell your friends and your enemies. I would greatly appreciate it. Now going over to the business part podcast, you have some good news. Every 2026 Dodge Durango gets a good old V8 as Stellantis tries to make a comeback. Now this is brought to us thanks to Joel over at thedrive.com. And he says, quote, every 2026 Dodge Durango gets a V8, the V6 is dead. The Dodge Durango just became the least expensive V8 three-row SUV in the market. And here you can see the Hellcat in all of its glory. Oh, as Tim Allen would say, all the horsepower, all of it. 8 cylinders of glory. No more V6. I mean, we were back, baby. Stellantis is going to make a comeback. I mean, consumers are going to get a great choice thanks to Trump and the administration rolling back the EPA and all the draconian emission standards and fuel economy regulations. The free market, my friends, is back. And Americans love big, loud, fun cars, which that is Stellantis' bread and butter. Or more accurately, Dodge's, which, again, is one of the best divisions of Stellantis. Which, again, that if I had to get an SUV, well, it'd have to have third pedals. So, you'd have to be a Porsche with a stick shift from the 2009 era. But nevertheless, if I want a big, obnoxious, fun SUV with a V8, I'd get one of those. Now, he says, quote, efficiency? Where we're going in America, we don't need no efficiency. We need power. Dodge just gave it to everyone. The 2026 Dodge Durango will come standard with a V8. The V6 is dead. The asterisk is because fleet customers could still order V6 powered Durango, but a normal customer, nope, not after August 13th. A spokesman from Dodge said, quote, it's all Hemi all the time, which it is also great to have the Dodge CEO back who really brought the company to the forefront of American muscle in terms of modern era and having a V8 Hellcat into every freaking vehicle, except they should have fixed this, the Dodge Grand Caravan. But thanks to Tavares and YouTubers, there is actually a Hellcat swapped minivan, which is awesome, of course. Now, he says, quote, Dodge all-in assault on efficiency underpowered vehicle will cost you $42,495, presumably not including the unknown destination charge. That price puts a standard 5.7-liter Hemi V8 under the hood, which has 65 more horsepower than the V6, though the final output hasn't been released yet. The 2026 Durango RT now gets an old SRT engine, 392 cubic inches of glory. As an age-old philosopher, maybe it's Confucius, says, there is no replacement for displacement. And it says, again, it's 392 cubic inch through 6.4-liter Hemi V8, and supply the engine is now standard. The power output will check in at 475 horsepower and 470 foot-pound of torque, which is 115 more than the 2025 model 5.7-liter Hemi. Back and more powerful? Oh, that's glorious. They say the 2026 Durango R5 will cost less than $50,000, according to Dodge. That probably doesn't include the destination charge. The Hellcat is not only living on, it's gained jailbreak customization options. It also received a massive price cut. The 2076 Dodge Durango Hellcat will cost you $79,995. That does not include destination fee. And kind of cliche, but it is true. Good marketing in terms of, having it $5 under, or technically $6 under $80,000 will trick people into thinking it's under $80,000. When again, after destination charge as well as extortion, sales tax, registration tax, it'll probably be what, $85,000, $86,000 to $87,000 all in. Oh, then hopefully Trump gets rid of the gas guzzler tax. That shouldn't exist at all, considering gasoline is already taxed. And if you buy a bigger car, you're going to have to pay for more fuel. But nevertheless, yeah, it's a pretty good price cut. They said the 2025 Durango Hellcat Silver Bullet Edition will cost for about $115,000, while the base 2025 Durango Hellcat costs about $102,000. That's a price cut of about $22,000, which is pretty penny to say the least. The Durango became a staple of the Dodge lineup, and the V8 was keeping the current model alive, because again, that's what consumers were presumably buying. Not presumably, they were buying. Plans for the next generation Durango have shifted many times at this point. Currently, it's clear that the current Durango is live, as well as has a 8-cylinder heart. Orders for 2026 Dodge Durango GT and Hellcat will begin on August 13th, with arrivals beginning in the fourth quarter. The 392 powered 2026 Durango RT order bank will open until late 2025. The only thing missing from the entire production was a bald eagle and fireworks. It's Hemi time at Dodge, at least with this 3-row SUV. Which, again, the dumbest thing, well, physically speaking, in terms of like supply versus demand, the silliest thing for them to do now, which, God, I hope they do it, put a stick shift in that, and even more, and maybe a fun spoiler just for the hell of it. Again, Porsche proved that you could sell those, not in large quantities, in terms of a stick shift performance SUV. But in terms of doing something that no one, like, I mean, Honda's not going to do that. Ford isn't going to do that. Like, in terms of a large SUV, it would be, I mean, just for SEMA shows alone, just to show they still got it. I mean, that'd be revolutionary. If Dodge were to come back and it was stick shift for every vehicle. Now, again, it won't move a lot of units, but they are adamant about getting the SRT, trim level out there for everything, which is their top tier performance. And yeah, that would, to me, that would be the only thing to make this even more epic in terms of a comeback of the ICE engine, the large displacement, and the enthusiasm around it. And again, it's one of those things where they'll trickle in, not everyone gets stick shift, but it gets headlines, it's fun. It's one of those really cool things. So it's really cool to see that, again, it's back in the good old engine, and it's going all in. And it's also helped, again, it keeps the cost down with just like when you and I go to Costco. Well, I don't, but when many people go to Costco, price point because you're getting in bulk quantity. The more V8s that are made, the cheaper they get to produce. That's one of the most important things of having less regulations. Giving the free market what they want, the prices will go down per unit, which is great. So, I mean, more and more great automotive news. I think I've used that word 5 times, but this is just cool, and I'm so excited. But let me know your thoughts, because, as always, it'd be fascinating to hear what you have to say. Now, going over to the Cultural Power podcast, you have American Eagle leaning into the Sydney Sweeney phenomenon as their ads go more and more viral. Now, this brought to us thanks to End Wokeness on X, in which he says, quote, American Eagle is now tripling down on the Great Jeans ad. And here you have Sydney Sweeney on one of those large electronic displays. Looks like she flips off a CRT TV off of a platform, which, well, I don't think it's real, hopefully, because there are some people that collect CRT TVs for vintage gaming, but I partially digress. That's her waving on a platform, and it ends with static, and it says, Sydney Sweeney has great genes, which fact check community knows. True, obviously. And this went pretty valid, got about 600,000 views and 31,000 likes, which, again, it makes sense. These ads are viral, and again, American Eagle is smart, although as a kid I would jokingly call them Pakistani Eagle, because beer clothes at the time, in the 90s and 2000 era, were made in Pakistan. So I guess fun business fact of the day, debatably. And yeah, just lean into it, and they're going to get more and more sales. Their stock is going up greatly, though, again, not financial advice. One of the first comments comes to us thanks to Gunther Eagleman, says, quote, I love this shit, getting 123 likes. Paul Zupa says, quote, the big problem liberals have with the genes is that it leads to them talking about chromosomes such as XY and XX that will destroy their whole gender ideology, getting 137 likes. I mean, it's also probably because Sydney Sweeney is not morbidly obese like most liberal leftists. And before this, most advertising for the fashion industry, I mean, even on the Facebook, when you're looking at ads for clothing, it shows obese women. I don't know why, but they're proud and they're happy. You shouldn't be happy to be healthy, unless, again, some people have some health conditions, but overall in the United States, people are morbidly obese because of health decisions, aka what they eat and what they do, or rather what they do not do. Now, you also have a couple more comments here. One of the first ones comes to us thanks to Base Electrician, saying, quote, Sydney has taken over the Dome. Got 33 likes, which, yeah, I guess it is Las Vegas Dome. You also have Mrs. B with the famous meme of the boyfriend who's jealous of the girlfriend, but they photoshopped it so that the girlfriend is the ugly leftist, which is the obviously purple hair, thick, ugly glasses, which blows my mind. There's some nice looking glasses out there. There's some sexy frames. None of them are worn by leftists. But then, of course, she has purple hair, the cow ring, and he's looking away from her. He's looking at Sydney Sweeney, who obviously looks breathtaking. That got 361 likes. Mrs. B says a difference between a real woman versus a fake woman. You have American Eagle with Sydney Sweeney, and their stock went up by 20+%. And you had Del Mulvaney dressed up as Catherine Hepburn, or with a woman face on, as some people would say, and Bud Light stock crashing like a rock or a broken airplane. That got 505 likes, which, well, I'll give it 506 in that case. 519 going up like a good stock, like NVIDIA, though again, not financial advice. You have Atticus Fitch saying, quote, the ad that only righties are making a big deal about, getting 10 likes. A contrarian statement, was he ratioed? No. Someone by the name of Polly says, except 2, you're the only non-white making a big deal, right? Getting 2 likes. ZNVT says, you're retarded, getting 1 like. Someone said, and yet here you are. Let's see here. Ankar Pandi says, quote, I don't like this ad. She's only doing divisive politics. How could anyone be happy after angering so many people? Where's the humanity, my God? You got 13 likes from 13 idiots, but let me see here. Was he ratioed? Tommy Diddy Tony says, quote, good thing is very few people care if you don't like this ad. Getting 62 likes, or as you might say, ratioing him completely. You also have Terry saying, oh my God, are you a girl? Really? Getting 19 likes. You also have Woke Men saying, shut up, communists, getting 21 likes. Ooh, disgusting. Dink Tickle says, fair is fair, you said about these ads too, right? You have a morbidly obese African-American woman and a morbidly obese white woman on the cover of Cosmopolitan, and it says, this is healthy, which, spoiler alert, all those fat influencers, yeah, though they die prematurely because, obviously. And, yeah. Disgusting. It literally says, this is healthy on this magazine. Says, if women on why wellness doesn't have to be a one-size-fit-all. Again, if you're big as a rhinoceros, you cause a lot, just the wear and tear in your car. It's going to wear out the shock absorbers, the seats going to get worn down earlier. I'm only partially kidding, that is true. But yeah, these lies that they've been telling women for like a decade of, oh yeah, you're beautiful just the way you are. No, you're not. Go to the gym, eat less, exercise more. I found that on average, men are more blunt with each other. And I think that's why men on average are in better shape than women in terms of obesity and muscle mass. It's a thing where if a guy gets out of shape, you'll talk shit to him. And again, in terms of how guys work, on average, that's a pretty good motivator. For gals, they just lie to each other. Well, I also think this is why they lead to divorce as well, in terms of who initiates divorce. But yeah, they always say, oh no, girl, you're perfect just the way you are. No, you're not. Put down the taco or whatever unhealthy food you're eating, which I would argue most tacos are unhealthy unless you make them at home. But another topic for another time, perhaps. That did get 9 likes. Going back to the main comment section, you have Bill Tika saying, go American Eagle. It's Mr. Krabs from SpongeBob getting 108 likes with the money eyes. Mrs. B says, quote, the left says that they want more young male voters. Their strategy, hire this fat C word, then tell this hot girl is fascist. Getting a 235, let's make it 236, 45 likes, which, yep. Again, I can't help but think most of the actions Democrats do is just money laundering, not actually, trying to be efficient. Because yeah, Democrats did pay that whale, and I say that because she's ugly on the outside and the inside. But yeah, they pay this morbidly obese liberal white woman to try to influence young men to vote for Democrat, when obviously she's not mentally attractive or physically attractive, and she pushes very much pro-LGBT ideologies, which young men, spoiler, are not into. Well, most people aren't. I think most people are just afraid to say anything. And of course, juxtaposition with that is obviously Sydney Sweeney, who's 1.853 billion times more attractive than the girl on the left. Obviously, that got 245 likes. All right, see if there's any contrarian statements here. I'm pretty sure most people are all happy. Yeah, Mrs. B having the picture of, was this Calvin Klein, where they had a woman who transitioned or tried to transition to a man, cut off body parts and took steroids or took drugs to have a beard, then got pregnant, and then you also have, and they have Calvin Klein clothes, and Democrats' eyes are closed. You have Del Mulvaney and his woman face, Democrats' eyes are closed, they don't care. They have Sydney Sweeney, and the eyes of Squidward open up, and they look all angry. Got 127 likes, and yep. In fact, they told you those other 2 things were beautiful. They were amazing. You had to embrace them. Spoiler, they didn't. Consumers didn't buy that crap. Yeah, it continues to go trending. Again, exceptionally successful marketing campaign by American Eagle. And yeah, now the real question is, will more companies tune in and will more companies hire attractive models again? They haven't done that in decades. But yeah, let me know your thoughts, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Other interesting cultural news, you have stealing grocery prank going viral on social media and some consumers trying to push back. This is brought to us thanks to David Santa Clara, who I've read his comments for probably about a year. I've started to follow him and look at what he's posting. And this is also trending on the topic a couple of weeks ago, where we have African Americans in the United States building exclusive communities, and then white folks started to do the same thing. Of course, CNN only care about the white folks. And he says, quote, "Why are whites forming white-only towns?" And it's a little compilation of this video of these pranks where you have guys go up to people's grocery carts and steal stuff. So he goes and steals. So it's an elderly gentleman. He's looking on the shelf to buy more crap he doesn't need. And young African American goes up to him and just walks up and steals a Coca-Cola. And what is that other food item? Maryland? Some type of dessert with a coconut on it? Well, I mean, I don't eat dessert. I don't know what that is. And the boy puts it in his cart, and the older man tries to get it back.
I need it, bro. It's not for you.
It's your problem, not
You
mine.
didn't. I need it, bro.
No.
I,
No.
I need it, bro.
No. Go there.
No.
No.
No, bro.
Go. Go.
So you got this nice old man who's just trying to shop, and his guy keeps going up to his little rolly cart and taking the food out. Obviously, to try to elicit the emotional response.
Huh?
Go.
He's bothering me. He's over here bothering me. So he took something out my cart over here.
And the guy on the camera's lying, obviously.
What? Whatever he's so. Hey, bro. Why is he? Hey, he taking stuff out my cart, bro. What is he doing, bro? Don't do that shit, bro. You assaulted me, bro. Get the fuck out my face, bro.
Yeah. And that got 7.6 million views and 58,000 likes. I think this also highlights how bad social media can be in terms of, I mean, this young guy is also doing this for clicks and trying to go viral on social media. And yeah, purposely antagonizing people, which, again, I'm a fan of a good harmless prank. Lord knows I've done mine throughout my life. But yeah, when you're actually harassing people, trying to purposely elicit emotional response just to go viral so that they look bad, yeah, come on now. Now, that also, again, got 58,000 likes. David Santa Clara did another video, again, the same trend of, stealing stuff off of grocery carts. And he says, quote, checks Zillow in white-only towns. And this is, I think the video is credited to Mike from Florida. I believe is how you try to spell Florida.
Hey, whoa, what are you doing?
Why do people wear sweatpants in public? White gals do this too. It's ridiculous. You're in public. I don't know why it annoys me.
Hey, whoa, what are you doing? You grabbing this out of my car?
I can't get this. This is not yours. This is not yours.
What the fuck?
What do you mean, what the fuck? This is not.
Grabbing this out of my car?
Hey, stop screaming at me, bro. Pipe the fuck
Give me
down.
my thing.
This is not yours. I just grabbed this from
Bro,
there.
you just grabbed this out of my car.
No.
What is wrong with you, man? What is wrong with you?
Why?
What the fuck is wrong with you, bro? Why are you talking?
And he tried to push a cart into him. It hit, I guess, the wall or display. That also got 3.8 thousand likes. This is also, there's another video. This is from, again, David Santa Clara saying, I'm untethered and my rage knows no bounds. Here.
Where did you get this from right here?
I don't want to say this video is fake, but I've never seen anyone in the real world has bought Clamato juice. I've seen it on the shelves my whole life. I've never once seen anyone actually buy it. Have you? I have a conspiracy theory. I don't think they actually do. Kind of like Almond Joy, which I presume is only existent so you accidentally get it as crappy candy as a child during Halloween. I've never seen anyone buy one of those in the grocery store lines ever. I don't know if you have. But yeah, so this gentleman, or young gentleman, well, not really gentleman, young guy is going up to this elderly gentleman, going into his cart and is taking the Clamato juice, which, again, who the hell buys?
Where did you get this from right here?
It's the first aisle.
First aisle?
Yeah. Right.
Oh, on that side? All right, thank you.
Can I have that? Hey.
So he asks, where'd you get this? And he just takes it.
Yeah.
Can I have that?
Oh, no, you could just get your other one.
Oh, thanks a lot, racist.
Racist? What did I do?
So I guess the old guy called the black kid racist.
Come on,
Oh, the old guy was white.
give me that.
But I need it. You should just get your other one. You're going that way anyway, sir.
Don't be a racist. Come
I
on,
don't want to be a racist.
because you're picking on a white guy.
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't think you need to pull the race card here.
But let me just get this one too.
Get out of here, you asshole.
It was just a joke, bro. Where did you get?
Again, it's a joke to try to make. I mean, yeah, when people are just trying to, grocery shop. I got 3.3 thousand likes. And again, if you're outside protesting, you got people recording you, or yeah, I mean, you kind of know you're gonna be on camera. The point is to get attention. People on the left and the right do that. And if you had to break this down to a cultural and a political thing, but like, again, just going inside the grocery store, trying to shop, and people keep doing this prank of taking stuff out of your grocery cart, which is juvenile and annoying. And again, they're just doing it to elicit basically, elicit an emotional response, which I think I've said use that word as a crutch or phrase as a crutch. And again, it's got 7.6 million views and 58,000 likes. And yeah, let's just say shopping is a pain sometimes. Now, Overwatch says this is called menacing in legal speak, getting 2.6 thousand likes. Yeah, what is this, the X-Men cartoon from the 90s? Maybe? He says, I can think of another word for it. It's Professor Xavier thinking really hard, getting 2.5 thousand likes. Jeez. A parody of Norm Cruise has the famous author or comic strip writer, Scott, giving the, I told you so kind of look, getting 2,000 likes. You also have on the right saying, quote, TikTok pranks need to be banned. Users committing inflammatory acts need to be banned from all social media platforms, getting 1.2 thousand likes. Joffrey the Bullion, perhaps maybe he's interested in silver, but he says, quote, knock the effer out, getting 788 likes, which I won't recommend because, again, you could argue if he deserves it or not for disturbing an old man and trying to abuse him that way, but, I mean, you would go to jail pretty much every instance for that. I mean, every judge is going to get you in trouble for that. Johnny Pistol says, I don't want to say it. Well, he says, typical black kid picking on a softer target for content that isn't funny, then plays a victim, getting 769 likes. Okay, this one got 1.9 thousand likes from Smith Reloaded saying, quote, black fatigue is real. And you have a picture of the black guy looking happy then sad, and happy says, acts like one, gets called like one. They look sad. Brock Kane says, yep. The guy carrying an anchor says Western civilization, the anchor being named blacks, getting 1.5 thousand likes. Sin City Snark says cities without whites, or whites without blacks, and says blacks without whites. It's peaceful cities are constructed, then cities and towns are all deconstructed, which, I mean, look in San Francisco. There's a lot of hippies there, and it's mostly fecal matter of the ground. Again, so I don't think that there's much merit to that, but I got 1.7 thousand likes for that comment. Going down more and more. Bell Badar is here, says, quote, what really makes this even more frustrating and infuriating is that the white man not only had to pay for the groceries in his own basket, but he's also paying for the low IQ thug merchandise via taxes on his employment check, getting 2.5 thousand likes. Also have Christopher saying, well, I forget what comic or who originally wrote this. I can't credit him, but it's the cartoon in which you have a gentleman walking down the street and he has a giant arrow pointing to go across the street to avoid the African American man, getting 878 likes. Let's see. Sass says, this is how you deal with him. And in this particular instance, you have a African American man going inside maybe a convenience store, 7-Eleven, and he's going behind and taking all the cigarettes. And he's actually putting them all into a giant trash bin. Just take them off the shelf.
Hey, don't. Hey, ain't nothing you can do, man. Don't do that. Don't do that, man. Don't do that.
And this is a rare instance called accountability. Very rare in the United States these days. But yeah, the 7-Eleven employee, and it is 7-Eleven, I could tell by his lapel logo. But yeah, someone actually stopped the thief. And again, this thief took a garbage bag and tried to put all the cigarette cartons and packages into it. And the employee tackles on the ground, and the employee whacks him with a stick. Karma. So rare. And again, because the police and the judges don't enforce the law in the United States, in many instances when it comes to theft, well, I'm not saying it's a good or bad thing, but you're going to have more and more vigilantism. I can't pronounce things today. examples of vigilantes taking things into their own hands. Again, I joke, but I am serious when I say, sometimes I know I speak faster than Ben Shapiro or more awkwardly than Joe Biden trying to climb upstairs. But as I gain more subscribers, I've been slightly better at speaking. Some might argue just barely at all, though I would argue, technically, statistically speaking, an improvement. So I always tell people, click that subscribe button. It might help me get through an entire episode speaking perfectly and articulately. And also, don't forget to take time to tell your friends and tell your enemies. Your enemies might be so enamored and impressed with your choice of content, they then become your best friends. Or they might be more upset because they hate my content, and then they become greater enemies, and it becomes a physical altercation. So maybe I shouldn't recommend that. Nevertheless, probably make life moderately more interesting. So tell your enemies about the show as well. Tell them to subscribe. Now, again, that got 2.5 thousand likes. You also have Zero Tolerance Policy says, don't F with boomers. They carry and don't fear jail, getting 264 likes. Tontarius says, quote, they are such maggots, always looking for trouble, and then play victim, getting 1.1 thousand likes. I'm trying to see if there's any contrarian statements here. And again, I forget his name, but again, every race of kids, or I say kids, teenagers and young adults, they're all out there in terms of doing these things for social media, trying to get illicit response, or, trying to entice emotional responses from people. But yes, I think in terms of, actual, theft, well, in this case, not stealing, but they're taking physical steps to try to really ignite those types of feelings. It's going more and more viral. So I think, unfortunately, we're going to see more instances of this. When it comes to pranks, I would guess it'd probably be about equal when it comes to, juveniles causing a ruckus when it comes to prank videos. But yeah, let me know your thoughts and comments, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Other interesting cultural news, you have Sydney Sweeney for shooting years ago going viral on social media. Now, this is brought to us thanks to the New York Post, and I'm actually, truth be told, a little bit late for this news. And they say, quote, a clip of Sydney Sweeney's expert shooting at a range run goes viral for Republican registration revealed. American Eagle ad controversy. And spoiler alert, she's registered as a Republican. It was even rare in the fashion industry. Here you have her. Oh, you can't beat steel shooting. It's so much fun shooting the steel targets.
On top of each other.
Totally.
That was beautiful. That was the one. That was it.
Good. For your first day, I did not expect this for your first day.
There's a t-shirt with a cross on it.
I didn't expect it. Hey, that's a really good
Based.
thing. You got a compliment.
There you go.
Nice! 11:70, your fastest time and your cleanest run. Hello!
She just got 10 times hotter. And that's why she's going even more viral on social media. It is so, culturally speaking, so easy for a woman to be attractive to the average man. Literally, work out, diet, exercise, be polite, be grateful, be loyal. And if you shoot on top of that, whoever is marrying her, I don't know if she's married already, that guy's never leaving her. You got obviously loyalty comes first in terms of what guys looking for, but that's awesome. Ladies, if you want to find yourself a man, just learn how to shoot basic pistols and rifles, and then tell me you have an AR-15 and be like, oh yeah, you're cool, you're based. That's just so cool. And that got, again, 3.9 million views and 7.2 thousand likes. The first comment comes to us thanks to Dr. Susan saying, quote, I find it hysterical that the party hemorrhaging men has decided to run with Sydney as a Nazi message, getting 136 likes, which, yeah, I don't know anyone with a modicum of testosterone who voted Democrat last election, and I don't see how they're going to ever win men back, especially young men. Well, first of all, the party can't define what a man or woman is, but yeah, they continue alienating young men by saying, yeah, these whales are attractive, you must like them, otherwise they're, sexist or homophobic or whatever, yeah. Democrats tell young men, oh yeah, if you don't sleep with a trans woman, you're homophobic, or you're evil, it's ridiculous. The lack of logic is quite preposterous and mind-blowing. You also have, Ryan said, are they trying to make young men like her even more? Getting 1.1 thousand likes? Oh, they will. Snacks Dome says, quote, we didn't need to see her 2024 Republican voter registration to know, getting 228 likes, which, yeah, if you own a gun, if you're a gun owner, if you believe in guns, yeah, you're going to be Republican or Libertarian. Because, yeah, Democrats love to ban guns, especially black guns, because they're scary. Ooh. Again, statistically speaking, more people are hurt with blunt objects than, rifles, but they still call them assault rifles and want to take them all away. Oh, I should clarify. Democrats want to make sure that only the government has guns, which, historically speaking, that's always when the worst things happen, but I partially digress. You have Joey FAFO saying, quote, fact, and says MAGA women, all guts, no nuts. There's a very attractive blonde woman, well, a little redundant. She's obviously in shape, and she has full tactical gear with a pistol, a nice looking AR-15, and a couple spare mags. Yeah. Every guy loves that. Getting 309 likes. LaFleur has a gif from, Archer, and says, it was Archer talking to Krieger, he says, stop, my penis can only get so wrecked. Getting 416 likes. Watt has an AI generated picture of Sydney Sweeney with a MAGA hat. Getting 466 likes as well. Mezzanoit says, quote, the white women are awakening. And you have Keanu Reeves. It says, it's go time. He's doing a magazine reload. Getting 37 likes, which, again, that's one of the coolest things ladies can do. Nadi Lama says, quote, who effing cares? Why is this news? She was in the ad like 10 million other ads. Leave the girl the F alone. Oh, they gave her accolades. It's awesome. Well, New York Times, so who cares? I mean, I don't really care. I don't think anyone cares in terms of the New York Post, what they said. And people freaking out saying, it's a bad thing. I mean, there's obviously a market for this. But one of the coolest things a gal can do, competitive shooting. But let me know in the comments, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Going over to the political part podcast, you have Matt Walsh responding to Donald Trump declaring military use against the cartels. This is brought to us thanks to Matt Walsh, your hashtag MattWalshBlog on X, and he was responding to Disclose TV, and it says, quote, just in, Trump signs Pentagon directive to begin using military force against Latin American drug cartels. New York Times. Now Matt says, quote, now this is a military intervention I can support. Could have gone more viral. Got 336,000 views and 14,000 likes, which, I mean, I'm pretty isolationist, but even I would say, I'd be down for this. Again, 100,000 Americans die per year because of fentanyl overdoses alone, which again is actually partially because of China manufacturing the raw ingredients needed for it, and then them being shipped to Mexico, Latin American countries, or they actually processed and turned into a final product and then smuggled to America, where they kill, again, about 100,000 people per year. In any other instance, we declare war on them. And while we wasted trillions of dollars in the Middle East for no ROI, which is ridiculous, in terms of the actual military defending our own border, especially, in Mexico, and these cartels are destroying lives and amassing so much money. Mexico is basically a third world country run by the cartel. I think it'd be a good use of military force to stop that. And if you watch my show, you know that I'm usually not a fan of using most military force on a global level. But this would be a good thing. The real question is how feasible it is to fight them when you look at these countries and they're basically run by the cartels that, again, have amassed billions upon billions and billions of dollars, as well as billions of dollars in resources like, not only do they have the loyalty of politicians, but they got copious amounts of firearms, they control militaries. Be an interesting fight. Now, one of the first comments comes to us thanks to Crump saying, quote, would gladly pay a subscription fee for a live stream of cartels getting their shit rocked. Getting 97 likes, which I say sponsored by AR-15 armor and federal ammo. LOL getting 4 likes. Well, 3. I also say, quote, our military finally defending our country is the first in many years, getting 11 likes. The conservative alternative says, quote, long overdue. Bukele had the right idea when it comes to the cartels. Treat them like a paramilitary force because that's basically what they are. In 34, make it 35 likes. 36, actually. Because, now I do have a contrarian statement. Logical Luminary says, quote, or we could just legalize use of drugs for adults. This would easily eliminate drug cartels. Getting 12 likes. Was he ratioed? No. However, that would not end the cartels at all. I mean, you see this in states where they pass laws making marijuana legal. There's still very much a big industry there. It's a lot cheaper, more effective for the cartels to make it because they don't have to deal with all the legalities in terms of licensing, the procurement, all these standards that some states have in terms of what you can and cannot use for fertilizer and chemicals. Again, so the industry is very much there. And also, the cartels are diversifying. I mean, believe it or not, they make a bunch of money off avocados coming from Mexico, which, again, I also purposely mispronounced as a slight to that third world hellhole. Just so ridiculous. And also, they would increase the amount of business they do via human trafficking. I would say that one of the most egregious crimes against humanity that the cartels are allowed to do. I say allowed because I don't see a lot of people trying to stop them. I mean, Mexico alone, geez Louise, Well, they had like 35 presidential nominees killed by cartel until one gal won. You can't convince me she's not in their pocket or bending over to them. Again, 35 presidential nominees, the cartel, well, they all just happened to just die. And then one gal got elected president of Mexico. I'm not buying that. There is no way that was a fair election. You also have Adam Johnson saying, quote, deploying the U.S. military to protect our border and directly against drug cartels is one of the best use of our armed forces in decades. Yes, as opposed to deploying them to third world hellholes in the names of democracy. 135 likes. Dragon Gropier, contrarian statement. Now he says, well, let me move the bubble there. He says, quote, okay, but how does this benefit Israel? Seems to be a little bit too America first, getting 43 likes. Yeah. Ryan Gartner says, quote, legalized drugs and personal responsibility. All black markets result in bloodshed. In 10 likes. Which, again, I kind of almost tongue-in-cheek joke. What's the difference between, cartels and some governments? I would say Mexico, none. But, again, they would just shift to different markets. And then, again, I do have some libertarian friends, and truth be told, I have some policies that are more libertarian. But, again, it would be an instance where they would just focus on different things. And, again, we've seen this on the marijuana topic. It's legal in a lot of states. It's still a big source of income. You actually have Chinese cartels coming to the United States and growing, especially in Maine. Great interview with Tucker Carlson. There's a really good reporter from Maine who's actually doing some investigative reporting. If you just search on the internet, Tucker Carlson, Maine reporter, it's an exceptional interview. He actually talks about how Chinese are coming to America, buying houses, and setting up grow farms with, again, hazardous, terrible chemicals that destroy the local area, and they're making marijuana in those houses, where, again, it's legal on state level, but they're doing it illegally, and they're making a huge amount of money. Going down more and more. Let's see. White Power Ranger? Guess he's bored and retired, maybe. He says, only intervention I support is the complete destruction of Israel. Well, he's going to get canceled soon. Gained 31 likes. See if there's any other contrarian statements. William Woolroff says, quote, 100% never going to happen. He did a Photoshop of Matt Walsh and says, Belford again award, getting 8 likes. Which, again, Trump has delivered on some of his promises. I think that, he technically categorized the cartel as a terrorist organization when he got into office. I think there's some truth there. There's this thread, or there's some, it's a good metaphor that I can't forget. I can't remember off the top of my head today. It's been a little bit of a long week, but it eludes me at the moment. I also have the traditional rebellion says, quote, you should use it against the 10 million illegal immigrants that first came to the U.S. too, getting 8 likes, which, yeah, I think a lot of people are disappointed by Trump. Again, there are a lot of people he's deporting, but not enough to really scale and make a difference. We have a lot of troops all over the globe doing a lot of things. I would say it'd probably be better off them being more local and serving America first. But let me know your thoughts, because, as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Other interesting political news, you have an Arizona Democrat senator saying that she doxes ICE agents on Instagram, which one would think, isn't that treason? I'd deport her. Or worse, send her to Detroit or San Francisco. But in all seriousness, this is credited to Libs of TikTok, in which she says, quote, Arizona State Senator Anelis Ortiz, Democrat, is actively impeding and doxing ICE by posting their live locations on Instagram. Charge her, and then she actually hashtags Thomas Homan, DHS, and ICE. And there you can see her, which, interestingly enough, for a Democrat, she does not have a cowl ring or short blue hair, so I'm actually surprised by how she looks. And, yeah, this is her posting, and she's literally saying, quote, alert, ICE activity near Southwest Elementary, cross streets 15th Avenue and Dobbins, August 5th, 8:09 a.m., OJO Comunidad. ICE's president, La Migra Esta Presente. Which, yeah, my mom legally came from Cuba, so I know a little bit Spanish, but obviously not a lot. And that got viral beyond all belief. 16.4 million views and 20,000 likes, which is quite a few to say the least. Now, the real question is, will Republicans hold Democrats accountable? That is very, 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 very rare. I probably should have, to be more accurate, I probably should have inserted 18 to 25 more varies, but I think you get the point. Republicans are very good at writing angry letters and pontificating on C-SPAN and other boring news outlets like Fox News. Again, actually charging them, it happens pretty rarely, so that's why I'm pretty skeptical. She's saying, oh yeah, we'll charge them. Yeah, will they? She continues saying, quote, Senator Elise Ortiz is very upset we exposed her. And she continues on social media, Ms. Ortiz saying, quote, yep, when ICE is around, I will alert my community and stay out of the area, and I'm not effing scared of you or Trump's masked goons, which, yeah, can't but think everyone's thinking, oh yeah, we voted for this. You know, people who broke into our country, yeah, get them out. There's a TikTok also says, quote, an ethics complaint is being filed against Arizona Senator Ortiz for posting the live location of ICE agents. This is thanks to, or tweeted Jeff Hoffman, who says, quote, Democrat senator openly impeding ICE efforts to deport illegal aliens, criminal aliens in Arizona. She's doxing ICE agents, putting them at risk. I'll be filing an ethics complaint. She should be expelled from Arizona legislator. Oh, he filed a complaint. This almost reminds me of The Office. And again, I try not to be too pessimistic, but like politicians are let us down so often. But it reminds me of The Office where Dwight Schrute's in charge, and it's an instance where, oh yeah, if you do, Jim makes an issue, and he goes, oh no, what's going to happen? And Dwight goes, well, if you do that one more time, you'll get a citation. And Jim goes, okay, what if I do it again? We'll get 3 more citations, and then you get a warning. And Jim goes, and then I'm fired? He goes, no. You get 5 warnings, then you get demerit. And Jim goes, then I'm fired? Then you can fire me? He goes, well, no, if you get 3 demerits, then you get a form written up. And, it goes on and on, a good comedy sketch for 30 seconds plus. But yeah, so again, they filed a complaint. And you got some more Republicans talking about things. But yeah, we'll see if anything ever happens. She continues saying, quote, Arizona Attorney Chris Myers, Democrat, is attacking Arizona State Senate President Warren Peterson for condemning the doxing of ICE agents. There's nothing Democrats hate more than the law and order, and of course they're upset. How dare you? Why are you making fun of her? Why are you trying to stop a senator from doxing ICE agents and putting their lives in danger? And one of the first comments comes to us thanks to the conservative alternative saying, quote, she's a sitting government official who's helping foreign nationals escape law enforcement. This is treasonous, getting 1,000 likes. It is, but that's also a lot of what Democrats do. Will they be held accountable? We'll see. Paul Zazupa says, quote, it's amazing how easy these Democrats make it to prosecute them, getting 1.2 thousand likes. I just kind of wonder, well, they do it because, again, some of their Democrat voters will like the fact that they're breaking the law like this. It'll make for good press releases. Well, let's be honest, no one reads a newspaper. It'll be good for the YouTube, TikTok clicks. They'll, make their voters give them more money. But also, I think they know they probably won't be held accountable. Also, retiring Rogers saying, quote, sounds like a federal felony. Time for a test case, or hundreds of them getting 201 likes. Amelia Henderson says, quote, she's aiding illegal infiltration while sabotaging federal agents in broad daylight, slap criminal charges on her, and make an example out of it, getting 268 likes, which Republicans, if they were smart, they should. Yeah. SAR says, ICE are public servants, you effing morons. It's not doxing. And 3.3 thousand likes. Contrarian statement. With only 2 responses, I doubt his ratio getting, again, 3.3 thousand likes. Nope, was not ratioed. But again, when they're carrying out these orders, yeah, I would say that counts as not doxing, I suppose, because you're not, oh no, you're giving up their location, certainly interfering with their case and their process. You're literally warning people, get out of here. Law and orders are coming. Carlos America says, Democrats have no fear for consequences for breaking the law. This needs to change, getting 90 likes. Yep. Let's see here. Distro, probably pronouncing that right, maybe, says, quote, oh, he's quoting a quote, says, they just want a better life. No, this is a takeover, and this is proof. It's always been well established that the only way to conquer America is from within. She's acting as an agent of a foreign nation, getting 292 likes, or 72 likes, sorry. Which, yeah, 110%. That's what Abraham Lincoln warned us about all those years ago. Which, if you went to a public school, you might not know who he is, unfortunately. Ichi says, quote, cool. Anyways, why don't you talk about the Epstein files and our PDF president getting 8.4 thousand likes? Which, again, unlike most politicians, Trump didn't go to the island. But also, yeah, where are those files? Even a lot of the conservatives, like Charlie Kirk. Oh, yeah, Charlie Kirk goes, oh, yeah, just trust our government. You can trust them. Yeah, I don't think anyone's buying that. So we'll see if those ever come to the fore. I don't think they'll ever actually come to the light of day. We also have Seeking Truth says, quote, oh, I clicked out. Oh, I accidentally clicked on Christy Noem's profile, his hashtag there. Now, Seeking Truth says, quote, arrest her and charge her with obstruction and reckless endangerment. Let her sit in federal prison while waiting trial. Get 117 likes. Meredith Ann. Of course, she has 5 Ukrainian flags in her profile, and actually 1 American flag, so I guess that's different. And she literally says F Putin, which I can't help but think she doesn't even know more. She's probably never, I wonder if she even can point him out in a picture. But yeah, she's definitely taking the left pill in terms of hate country, love, yeah. But she did say a contrary statement that got a lot of likes, so I'm going to read it. Life gets a little bit boring if you're in an echo chamber. And she says, quote, "You have no idea what doxing means, do you?" Gain 5.2 thousand likes. And let's see here. Was she ratioed? No. Again, they are breaking, or not breaking, they are impeding the arrest process. Scrolling down more and more. EF says, "Give it up for her. We'll be reposting this list, you absolute goblin." Funny how the most disgusting people always call other people disgusting. Or people who are not disgusting. But yeah, Republicans are irate. They filed a motion. But let me know in the comments. Do you think there will be any consequences for any of these Democrats? Probably not, but let me know your thoughts in the comments, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Now, going over to the business blunder of the day, you have Kia recalling 100,000 vehicles for, detaching window trim, which is very unusual because it's not Ford recall. Now, this brought to us thanks to Corin Verco, who's a writer at cars.com. And they say, quote, "Kia recalls 100,000 K5s for detaching window trim." And here you can see that car right there, which actually doesn't look too shabby in the blue. Now, they say, quote, "Affected vehicles include the model year 2023 to 2025 KBs. The issue is with the left and right rear window C-pillar trim pieces, which might loosen and fall off, creating a road hazard for others and other drivers and increasing the risk of a crash. As a fix, dealers will replace the C-pillar trim assemblies as necessary for free. They will begin notifying owners in September." Jeez Louise. Got a lot of time, or just watch the show where we usually cover recalls days or months, before they are actually sent out to owners. And jeez Louise. Yeah, it looks like they say that this happened to 82,500 vehicles earlier in this year as well. I don't know what kind of adhesive they're using. Now, again, as always, it's going to be free to repair to the owner. To see if your car is specifically affected by the recall. Again, the recall number is SC346. Again, the recall number is SC346. You can call Kia's helpline at 800-333-4542. Again, Kia's helpline number is 800-333-4542. And again, they've come, in terms of improving as a company, they probably made the best improvements in the past 15 years. Gotta give Kia Hyundai some credit, same company. But yeah, to have such a rudimentary recall where, I don't know, do they just not want to, spruce up? Did they just not want to pay the premium for the 3M adhesive? I don't know, maybe they used an off-brand for the actual holding of this material, the trim piece on, but yeah, silly little recall. Thankfully, again, there's been no reports of these causing accidents. No one's gotten injured from it. No one's passed away because it's caused an accident. So again, they're getting ahead of the situation. Give them some credit. But yeah, Kia, gotta say, using the wrong adhesive and having the trim pieces just fall off, gotta say, you are certainly the business blunder of the day. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Again, try to get to 6,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so if you click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, and comments. Great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.